Good evening and welcome to Xbox Tavern's X-Pod Tavern episode 88 on this wonderful Sunday evening at 8 p.m.
Ish.
I'm the returning Jamie, back after a long hiatus, and I'm once again joined by MPV Graham.
Hello.
Scott Scruff Ross.
Hello.
And Millie Man Ian.
All out all day, all hours.
Gentlemen, how are you? It's been a while. Well,
Yes.
not in real life, but in the Xbox Tavern land, it's been a while. How are you?
We're
It's doing very well, yes.
Yeah, they're very nice.
Good.
How are you? Are you upset you missed the Resident Evil chat last week?
I'm livid. I was listening to it and I was just shouting into the ether like, let me say something, but no one was listening to me.
Yeah,
it
I
picks up on
suddenly
it.
agreeing that Resident Evil 6 is one of the better
I
ones.
was like, fucking Resident Evil 5 again. Stop.
It's
No,
weird. That's the most one we've all played as well.
We're going to talk the remake into existence.
Oh, see, I wouldn't mind if they remade it and made these. Anyway, we're getting into Resident Evil. I'm sure you guys don't want to go down that route already. Let's get there later on, shall we? Let's talk about the news of the video games of Xbox.
I also about where Dan's being a little. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, Dan's not here.
Hi, Daniel.
He's incapacitated.
Hi,
I think
Daniel. He's in chat. Hi, Daniel.
Hi, Daniel.
He had too much to drink last night and he's feeling very fragile.
I mean,
Aw.
we're not as young as we used to be, are we?
Shandy the size of his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One
That's
beer,
right.
that's him. Fucked.
Dan's about 50, so.
Well, true.
Hello, my name is Daniel. I'm so fit.
And that was the obligatory take the piss out of Daniel section. Thank you very much. Let's get into the news. GTA 6, gentlemen. GTA 6 has been rumored and pondered upon and wanted for ages. Obviously, GTA 5 come out in 2013. And we finally got first unconfirmed details about a possible GTA 6 from those lovely folk up near Ross's Way in where's Rockstar based?
Was Edinburgh and Dundee.
So
com-
have they, do you reckon they'll know where your backwards town is?
Probably not Dundee because they're pretty much all just, they keep to themselves in all ways, shape or forms. Edinburgh, mate.
Maybe.
Edinburgh, mate.
Like a stone's throw across the lake or something.
Don't get lakes in Scotland, they're locks.
So, right, that's the obligatory take the piss out of Ross section.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll work our way
You've
around
seen a lot,
everybody.
Mr. Monster.
Obviously, everybody in Scotland. It's with that and a wild haggis. You've got to see like both. It's like a rite of passage.
And a bad Mars bar. That's what we have to eat.
See, I come back and just fucking wheels fall off within 30 seconds.
Buttered
Jesus
Snickers is better.
Snickers.
Caramel
Well, imagine-
within that. Oh, lovely.
I bet Dan likes a bad bounty.
But Dan just likes to be buttered. In
Speaking
the
of battered things, GTA likes to batter people, especially. No, let's not go down that route. But GTA 6 details from Bloomberg, potential return to Vice City apparently coming sooner than we thought. Could possibly be 2023/2024, probably 2028 at this rate. But the general gist is that it's going to be set in Miami. They said. Was there a time frame? I sort of missed that part. I think.
I seen something about a modern day Bonnie and Clyde, so I'm presuming it's going to be more up to date.
And
Yeah.
and as Ross alluded to there, one of the big rumors is that there's going to be 2 characters to play as rather than 3 of GTA 5. One which will be a female protagonist for the very first time in GTA.
And the internet shat the bed when they seen that, didn't they?
I mean, they could very well have. They might as well have just turned the internet off for a couple of hours because the amount of shit that people were coming out with.
Like, I'm really confused as to why it's an issue having a female protagonist.
I'm never going to play as that person, but you have to.
You have to. It's part of the main game. Fucking deal with it.
What difference does it make? I mean,
Yeah.
you know, the end of
Makes no
things,
odds.
it's a sprite. Get over it.
Yeah.
And if anything, it could provide a new perspective, as it were, because obviously it's all been big burly men so far going "Argh!" and stabbing people. Now you're going to get a woman going "Argh!" and stabbing people.
I mean, no, GTA Online, you do that, don't you, Jay?
Yeah.
Damn right, it plays a woman.
That's the point. That's a good point. You can be females on the GTA Online one.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, so are we excited to potentially go back to Vice City / Miami, whatever they end up calling it, or what area they're going to? Ross here. Let's go with Ross.
Yeah. Possibly. I mean, the fact it's a new one coming out, that's all you kind of need.
Yeah.
But at this
Exactly.
point, the location's almost semi-relevant.
I mean, if it
Something new.
is going to be Miami, then fucking fantastic. Because like Vice City's late was like just love Vice City.
Yeah, I mean, it has to go down that route. I mean, that's the only real kind of game you really can set yourself around.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for it as well.
Well,
I just hope they add like way more stuff you can do, like more side quests, more things you can buy, a bit like in Vice City.
According to, again, this report on Bloomberg, I'm using pure Xbox's breakdown of it. They said, in terms of what to expect from the single-player campaign, they said that the story will be influenced by Bonnie and Clyde and the aforementioned female protagonist, supposedly a Latina protagonist. And apparently, there was supposed to be large portions of North and South America, but Rockstar had to be reeled in and focused instead on a fictional version of Miami, rather than trying to make like they did with San Andreas, where they had a whacking great area, or where they had in GTA 5, where they had all the different states and stuff. Yes, they're going to keep it toned down, I should say.
You don't want to go too far with it, do you? Then content gets washed out.
It's all well and good. I think we spoke about it before when we talked about GTA 6. Like, it's all well and good having a massive area, but if, as you said, Ian, if there's not enough to do in it, you sort of.
That's happened with GTA 5. Reality, you spend most time around the city.
Yeah.
After the top half of the map was a bit like barren and a bit boring, and obviously it felt like a bit of a trawling across it all. So you need those kind of areas, stuff to do where there's loads of things you can kind of setting, but it needs to be big enough where you can actually fly a plane and it makes sense.
Yeah, not takes like 30 seconds to get from one.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll keep us all entertained. As I said, they're aiming for between April 23 and March 24, but there's no way they're ever going to make that at this point, I don't think.
No chance.
No, I mean, if
we hear something at Gamescom, maybe I can see it. If nothing at Gamescom, I can't see it saying, "Oh, here's the game out next year," or but not next E3. They go, "Oh, here's the game for next year." Like, I can't see that happening.
No chance. I think when they revealed GTA 5, they gave it 6 months, I think, before it was due to first come out, and then they pushed it back, so it ended up being just over a year since between announcement and release. But obviously that was then 5 or 6 years after GTA 4, and now we're hitting, at this point we've already hit 10. Well, it'll be 10 years next year, won't it, between GTA 5 and, if it does come out next year, GTA 6.
I mean, fair play to them. They do like, especially Rockstar, they do like to say, "Here's a trailer, see in a year," kind of thing. Like we'll have it in a year, not like, "Oh, here's a trailer. Yeah, we'll see in about 3-4 years and they'll be out."
I mean, there could be a chance that they've got stuff there ready to show, but with E3 coming back as a proper show next year, they might be like, well, what better place to showcase it at this revamped E3? And then when E3 comes around, they go, well, actually, we are looking at March 2024, so enjoy.
Yeah. And they've traditionally avoided E3, haven't they? But they've also traditionally, like Ian said, not announced anything to do with GTA until it's all basically upon us. Whereas this time they said, we're working on GTA 6, nothing to announce, but we're working on it. So they could maybe have a change of heart, because obviously, was it Dan Houser left, was it?
Yes.
And a couple of other, like the higher ups left. And that's part of the story as well, because obviously they had a bit of a backlash with the culture of crunch and upsetting employees and doing stuff the wrong way. And supposedly they've turned it around quite well. But a lot of people are not panicking, I should say, concerned that the Rockstar of old, now transitioning into this more friendly Rockstar, can't quite produce the same type of GTA
it's not going to be as edgy.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that, it's a different time now, and 10 years ago was 10 years ago. Now you've got to be a bit more careful with stuff like that. But I think if anyone can do it, I think the good fine folk at Rockstar can pull it off nicely, hopefully.
You'd hope.
So. So I imagine we'll talk about this probably every other week for the next 2 years until it's out.
I imagine
hopefully.
so.
Because they like to tease as well, like we were saying, like, here, have a single screenshot, and everybody spends an hour video analyzing. Oh, and in the distance there, I think I can see the bridge from San Francisco. Maybe this could be. Oh, there's a building there. Look, we'll get carried away, I think. But go play GTA 5 in the meantime. It's on everything and your toaster, so you could always go check out that. And the new Upspuff version is pretty decent as well, especially if you haven't played it before. Cool. Any more GTA news, gentlemen, or should we move on?
I think it's all
Let's
for
move
GT.
Cool. Well, other games that have been announced and revealed and look pretty damn decent was at the Annapurna Showcase 2022. Did anybody watch the whole showcase? Probably not, I imagine. I didn't actually watch the whole showcase. I watched the trailers that they released.
I did watch one of the ones that we can talk about, actually, because I watched quite a bit of it.
Nice. So,
Go for it.
why don't you tell us the one that you caught your eye, Ross?
The Lost Wild.
Okay.
Dinosaur survival game.
I mean, it sounds a bit like Ark when you say that.
Looks fucking amazing. I think one of the things I had seen basically that it was saying was it was like it scratched the Dino Crisis itch, was what I had seen it described as. It just looks really good, and the dinosaurs in it look awesome as well. But I don't know if that's pre-rendered stuff or if that's how they'll actually look in game.
Yeah,
but
it says on there it's a Steam trailer, but again, whether that's actually gameplay or not.
It does look like it looks sort of right on my street because it's a survival game, but the dinosaur part, it certainly adds a wee bit extra to that as well. Just, I think, like I say, because the dinosaurs look as good as they look in it, and I'm thinking like the last time I played a proper dinosaur game, with the exception of Ark, you're like back to like the Turok days and things like that,
or Second Extinction.
Second Extinction, yes. But even then, they were like genetically modified dinosaurs.
They weren't quite proper dinos, yeah.
But no, just a survival game, ticks my boxes, and then throwing dinosaurs into it. Aye. And like you're seeing in the trailer, like with the compass and things like that, so the navigation isn't here's a waypoint, go here. It's you need to navigate to where you want to go. So no, definitely seems like it'll be right on my street if it sort of follows the sort of Green Hell Ark Rust type idea of you have to sort of craft and stuff to survive whilst also being chased by whatever dinosaurs you may come across.
Yeah, no, I must admit I missed that trailer when I first watched the sort of roundup. That looks pretty damn decent. As you said, I'm not normally one for survival games, but chuck me some dinosaurs, chuck me a bit of horror. I'll put up with some survival mechanics if I need to. The one that caught my eye was a game called, let me just bring up my notes quickly, Maquette, I think it's pronounced. And this looks more like something like Superliminal, or what's the other? Oh, I can't think of the other name now. Where it's like a first-person puzzle game, where you got the scene of like a building, for example, and you go into the building, and there's a smaller version of that exact same scene in the middle, and then you go into that one, and there's a smaller version of that, and the puzzles you solve in the small version then transfer to the bigger versions. So like in the trailer, they showed them picking up a small key off a table and putting it as a bridge. And then behind them, the massive key fell down as a bridge for them to get to the next part.
Oh, nice.
And then you can get to the outer area and then rinse and repeat until you've solved the puzzle area, basically. And yeah, it looks fucking brilliant. Again, that's sort of right on my street, that type of thing. Yeah, look really good. Ian Gray, did you have a chance to check out the list of anything catch your eye?
Yeah, for me, it would be one game that really caught my eye. It would be a game called Thirsty Suitors. It kind of is like a story-driven Jet Set Radio kind of vibe. So that sounded quite cool. I mean, that was who's making that one? It's Outer Loop Games. Yeah, okay. So that looked quite funky because that was kind of like really kind of quirky with all the kind of skateboarding style, kind of game point stuff. And they also had a kind of bit of a story-driven mode there. It kind of looked like there were a lot of interacting with people and characters. So that kind of caught
very
my eye
colourful, isn't it?
Yes,
very colourful.
Kind of got that cartoon kind of style. Yes, really kind of. And I'm recently kind of seeing more and more of these kind of style of games coming out with kind of cartoon style graphics for the games. And I'm kind of really liking them a lot. So I think for me, this will be one for me that I'll be picking up.
Oh, it's happy. I think a lot of these will come to Game Pass as well, won't they?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I did have a proper list the other day.
That is launching into Game Pass. That one is that Thirsty Suit.
Oh yes, it is. Yeah, it's read now. 2023.
Yeah, I'm just reading all the other games that were like sort of spoke about it.
Ray, did anything grab your eye?
I did, and not a massive amount. Really did. I mean, that I'm surprised you didn't say about that bounty style one. That looks very tight.
Yeah, that was pretty good as well.
Yeah, that was another one that caught my eye, as was a game called Flock.
Yeah, just seen that one.
Caught my kids' eyes. It's basically, it looks like if you ever played Flower on a PlayStation 3, where you're just controlling a bird basically flying around there collecting creatures. And I think from the trailer, at least, it looks like the idea is just grab a couple of friends and just fly around and just create happiness.
And that's Game Pass as well.
And it just looks lovely. Yeah, and the kids were well into it because they had like flying sheep and birds and all sorts of crazy animals. It looked lovely. So
yeah, that's Game Pass, well, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So that'd be cool.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be interesting, that Solar Ash, but it looks a bit quite fast-paced and flitting, which is not too much of my kind of thing.
I read lots in the comments. The Pathless meant being really good as well. That kind of gets some like kind of Zelda vibes.
Yeah, because that's coming. That was coming. That was on PlayStation, wasn't it? And that was coming to Xbox. So.
So that was getting a lot of love in the kind of the comments. Like many people saying, if you want to play one of these games, play the Pathless.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to look into that as well, because that does seem quite up my street as well, and the same kind of similar kind of art style I like.
Yeah. So yeah. So again, loads of decent games. Annapurna always bring the good stuff. Like 12 minutes, and I think what was the other one they published?
Game of the year last year.
Exactly. Yeah. They published. But was them What Remains of Edith Finch? It was, wasn't it?
Yes.
Because there's now an Xbox.
I was going to say I
Series
didn't want to
XS
mention
update
that because
today.
I was waiting to do your nice little subtle slide.
I was going to slide it in there, and then I fucking stumbled over my own words. Yeah. So there's a Series X and S upgrade for What Remains of Edith Finch available now. If you haven't played the game, definitely play it. It's fucking brilliant. And the Outer Wilds, which also got a lot of love last year or the year before.
Outer Wilds was a great game.
It's now getting.
It was
Which one's that one?
Outer Wilds is basically you start off, you've got like a campfire and a rocket, and you've got to get to the rocket and then takes off. But if am I right in thinking this is one that's repetitive? So
like every 22 minutes it resets.
Yeah, so like if you do X amount and then you come back and then you have to basically try and do as much as you can, reset, go back. 11-minute type idea.
Okay. Interesting.
It got a lot of love. I did try it. I couldn't quite.
It was
get on with it,
it was hard, but it was a good game.
Is it getting there? Was it Game Pass? Or
Outer Wilds was Game Pass. It still is Game Pass, I'm sure.
I think it's back in Game Pass. It was also given away free back in the Mixer days. I think if you watched a certain
I think that's
E3
where I
stream
got
or
it
something,
from.
Oh,
they gave everyone a
I
copy for
vaguely
free.
remember that. I wonder if I got a copy then.
Yeah, I think most people should have a copy. But again, if not, it's definitely been on Game Pass. It might have even been.
There
Games
is
Yourself at some
an
point.
update, a 4K 60 update coming on the 15th of September, and it's the normal version is currently in Game Pass as it stands.
Yeah, nice. So yeah, go check that out. Again, a lot of love for that game. So if you enjoy little quirky indie games, go check them out. And there's loads of other stuff coming to Game Pass, including Maquette. Actually, it says here launched on Game Pass this winter. So either way, I'll be playing that. Thank you very much, Annapurna, and thank you, Game Pass. Best deal in gaming. I don't know if anyone's ever mentioned that or not.
And that was Wells' is Game Pass, if anyone was curious.
Yeah. So go check them out. Right now, on to the favourite part of the show. Something about Juventus.
Oh,
Coming to FIFA. Gentlemen, tell me all about football.
So we've no Piemonte Calcio anymore.
No, it's very much a non-story. I mean, they had the players. All they didn't have was the name of the team.
what was it called again?
Piemonte Calcio.
Yeah,
No, okay.
but
I never
yes,
remember what
I
it
mean,
was called.
but it made very, very little difference. So, I mean, to get the name back, obviously that's a bit of a coup to have it to say Juventus again, but a tiny coup. It doesn't make that much difference.
I was listening to KFGD the other day, and they were talking about it for far too long, and I was like, "What different? I don't understand any of this. Like, what? Yeah, Juventus.
You say that
It's all money.
Exciting.
All money.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
Money.
Just in time for them to give up the FIFA deal. Yeah?
You say
Yeah.
That's
that
pretty much why they sent it.
it
you
kind of fell on their backs when they got rid of Ronaldo anyway. Then the sort of a hype around Juventus kind of flattened out a bit. Now they're not even that much bigger in their league anymore.
you say that they were speaking about it the other day. We could go into a deep dive at everything that's been shown for FIFA 23 if you like.
Yeah, Jay.
Look, I've missed a couple of weeks. Let's not fucking get back into this track, shall we?
Just have non-league football. That's all they need to bring in.
They've got women's football, club teams.
Women's
True.
football.
Women's football, well done, Euros. Woo!
Euro champions. Yeah, I was.
Where
well
was
excited.
Scotland? Yeah.
They were.
Scotland even have women?
A few. One or two.
All right. On that note, let's move on, shall we? Let's do one more main one, and then we'll skip on to the next bit. Anyone interested in Jedi Survivor, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, coming out possibly by next March?
Please.
I prefer a Black Panther game, but
Ugh.
what?
Is that the sequel for it?
Yes, it's a
Right.
sequel.
All right, Ross, you tell me quickly about Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and then Ian, you tell me about Black Panther quickly.
Late February, early March. Hopefully it's coming out. Think we'll get this one. No, this one won't go Game Pass, will it? No.
So not straight away, but eventually, because it's EA playing or
Yeah.
EA Games.
But no, that'll be awesome. Good to see that. Like, it sounds maybe a bit of snobbery, but I'm glad they're not trying to do anything for PS4 and Xbox One X or the last generation. They're solely focused on going forward, which should mean that nothing's held back, and it's just going to be one very beautiful game like the last one they put out.
Yeah, I can't see why you wouldn't be looking forward to that. They did pretty well with that first one.
Fallen Order was
Quite
fantastic.
epic. Yeah. So a sequel to that can only be good news.
So that's coming out around the same time as Resident Evil 4 remake, Dead Space remake, not Callisto Protocol. There was something else in January, like 2 days before Dead Space remake. Doesn't matter anyway. There's a busy time of year, basically. It started the year already. So yeah, we could be in for a long couple of months. Good video games. Too many games.
No such thing as too many games.
Not enough hours a day. Ian, tell me about Black Panther. Why are you excited?
Because it's a Black Panther game. Wakanda
Cool.
forever.
Good work.
Right.
And
So the only thing I want to say about it, and it's the only reason that I have any about it, it's EA that's doing it.
yeah, that's true. When I saw it, I was like, oh, Black Panther game. Oh, EA.
That was
That's exactly my
exactly what I did. I was like, oh fuck, that's gonna be awesome. Oh shit.
Yeah, I was like, oh. So I mean, I don't know how they probably will fuck it up. To be fair,
Can we think of an EA game that's got a massive, big, expansive story in it? Let me think. Anthem. That did well, didn't it? That was a good game.
Yeah.
So for the
As long as it's better than
layman,
Marvel Avengers, then we're
for the
fine.
layman who doesn't understand what you're talking about, what sort of game is Black Panther supposedly be, according to the rumor?
Spider-Man on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Spider-Man-esque.
So either Spider-Man-esque or Batman-esque. I mean, they could the world stick on a voice with
Yeah,
that.
I don't know if they'll
good
do it
enough
like
story and good enough.
I don't know if they'll do it
playability.
like Batman. No way. Well, I
They
suppose
can't do.
that's-
No, will they do open world? No, they couldn't.
They could be,
So-
but no, because it's only really going to be. It'll be more missions, won't it? Like.
So it's definitely
Black
single
Panther.
player, yeah, not multiplayer.
No.
The rumor is
No,
It
it'd be
shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it'd be single player.
It could be. They could use like the combat from Batman because, like, obviously Black
That's
Panther.
It's
quite
trained
similar,
like
yeah.
that, yeah. But for how the actual game plays, they would have to almost do it like Arkham Asylum.
I was just about to say they
They'd have to have it with like a closed area that you can go between different sections of it, but not like city or night where you've got shit tons of places to go.
Yeah.
So
They have potential. They have a chance to really make it decent.
My only issue with it, and it's
Is that it's EA?
no, it's I just don't like. I get the whole buzz behind Black Panther, but who's Black Panther's like? Who's the baddies in Black Panther? Does anybody know?
Well, the other one that tried to
say
be the Black Panther. I can't remember what the bad guy's
Killmonger.
name was in the film. So him and didn't they dabble with like not I was going to say Black Adam or someone from the
Nope. Black Adam's DC.
There's Namor, isn't there? as well?
Namor's in the comics.
yeah,
he's-
but that one from the
Footballer,
sea.
innit?
That's Namor. isn't it?
he's going to be
Yes.
the one in the new film. But then there's what I'm meaning. So if I say, tell me a Spider-Man baddie, you can rattle off tons. Tell me a Batman baddie, you can rattle off tons. Superman, Black Panther, like people aren't going to know who Ulysses Claw is. They're not going to know who the White Gorilla Group is.
Not
Unless
yet,
you're
not till they play this single.
But that's
Yeah,
the way to-
exactly.
But-
That's
That's
the
the
way
way
to
to bring it
play
in.
it.
That's
You've
what I'm saying.
got
But to get the urge to play these sort of games, you need to at least like Spider-Man. Not everybody knows who Shocker is, but you know who the Green Goblin is. You know who Doc Ock is. So you know you're going to fight them, but then you get the backup characters.
But there's so many games in villains where you don't know who the villain is.
But not superhero games, really. That's the thing. You name a
So you-
super. Well,
I don't
gee,
know
you
any
don't
of
do
these people you're
superhero.
fucking mentioning.
Mhm.
But that's what I mean. It just Black Panther doesn't have a strong enough, or it hasn't got.
That's
a
because
more-
he's only really had his first film recently. Like think about Batman and Superman and
Yeah.
Spider-Man. They've had films for years before.
But then Iron Man has only
and
is-
cartoons and comics and stuff.
True.
Iron Man, I can't tell you any villain from Iron Man.
Mandarin.
Who the fuck is that?
Thanos.
He was
Is
in
it
the
Mandarin?
film.
Thanos?
Isn't that a fruit?
No. You seen Shang-Chi?
No.
Well, he was in that.
So see, that's what I mean. It's just you've got to have the exposure to learn it. And then obviously in 10 years' time when someone goes, oh, Black Panther 2 games out, they'll know who the villains are.
True.
You've got to bring new stuff in. You can't just go back to the old stuff all the time.
We want new stuff. No, not like that.
No one wants to know a Batman game.
X-Men game would be good.
Oh, I'm not sure about that. Oh, that's too many people. Too many cooks. Too many cooks.
Too many cooks. Anyway, right, let's move on from that. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for bestowing the knowledge of Black Panther and the other one on me, whatever that was. Right, a couple of... Thought I'd just get a little dig in on Ross. Sorry. All right, a couple of quick headlines I just want to read out before we get on to the next section. We don't need to talk about these really. It's just I thought they were interesting. So, what remains of Edith Finch? Like I said, it's got Series X and S upgrade now. Go play it. It's good. Delayed Minecraft Smash Brothers amiibo has a release date for September. If you're into amiibos, which you should be because they're pretty cool, and Minecraft's obviously Xbox stuff, go check it out. And the rest is pretty much pointless, really. I think the other one is Xbox boss Phil Spencer's most anticipated game is God of War Ragnarok, which is a good choice because it's going to be, well, I mean, the first game was fucking tremendous. But I don't know if you saw the fanboy. Oh, you can't use a PlayStation. Fuck off. Play whatever he wants. Play good games. And that's about it, really. Nothing else to get into there. So, gentlemen, that's the news that is fit to keep everybody entertained and informed this week. Thank you very much for listening. Ross, yes. I've wanted to say this for several weeks.
I know.
Very frustrating.
It's been a while since it's been done.
Ross, can you plug us for me, please?
Ah, you stole your thunder.
You fucking cunt. Oh, frustrated again for another week.
So we have a review on Apple Podcasts to read out first. So the Jaybird 88 really enjoyed it. Keep up the great work. 5 stars, great listen.
Thank you, Jaybird.
Much appreciated for that. And then into our normal plugs, patreon.com/Xbox Tavern. If you want to support us with your hard-earned money, that is the place to do so. Shout out to our superstar supporter, Beth. Thank you very much for that.
Beth.
Thank you.
Spreadshirt, if you want to pick up our merch, I believe there was a small complication on mobile devices that was only showing one item unless you clicked into it and then you got the items at the bottom. That's been resolved now as of Daniel. I'm sure he fixed it.
Thanks, Daniel.
So
I think it's fixed because I just clicked the link and it's not working.
Thanks.
All right, Daniel. I'll rescind my thank you until it's fixed.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. Like the Jaybird, can you leave 5-star reviews? It gets us more exposure, gets us into more people's ears, and we all know how Jay likes it in the ear. So if we could do that,
both at once.
Exactly, do that, get us a little bit more exposure and get us to be able to grow. You'll also find all our written reviews at xboxtavern.com. Jay, fill us in on anything that's popping up this week.
The reviews, we've got some good reviews this week. Thank you very much. By what's his name? Jamie Collier. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? So I reviewed Adventures of Chris. We've got a review from some man named Ian. I don't know if fucking there's like a.
Was that the one from last year?
Yeah.
I got it on time.
It's like getting blood out of a stone, but he did a review for South of the Circle, which looks like a fantastic game.
He gave it later.
8.5. Yeah, we'll get back to that. And Hell Pie from Corey, like a 3D platform adventure. It looks pretty cool. 8.5 as well. Loads more reviews up there, including my review of We Were Here Forever, which Graham spoke about last week.
Yep.
Fucking brilliant game. Tremendous. Definitely go check it out. And loads more, especially a lot of horror ones lately. So, if you're into horror games, go check out all the reviews we've got on their website at the moment.
You'll also find some other reviews and tips and tricks, especially if you are a big fan of your Microsoft perks and your reward points. Dan has a special little place in his heart for them. So he's got quite a few videos up with that on youtube.com/Xbox Tavern Official, where you'll also find us Sunday evening at 8 p.m.
Ish!
Yeah! Social media, same places, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, OnlyFans, wherever it may be, at Xbox Tavern. And our Discord is down in the show notes below.
Thank you very much, Ross, for plugging us
You're more
well
welcome.
and truly. You did a fantastic job. Right, gentlemen, we're going to get into our weekly segment now, which is our Game of the Year for Xbox throughout the years. Obviously, this year we're at 2012. If you've been playing along at home, thank you very much. We've got a few community answers this week, which I shall read out shortly. But this is the segment, if you're not familiar, where we go through the Xbox history, and every year we look back at the games released and we pick a game of the year for each of us for that year until we get up to modern day, which will be around about the end of the year, hopefully.
We're going in pairs this time.
And we are going in pairs because usually with this segment, although we like to pick our game of the year, for the sake of not everybody picking the same fucking game, we try and mix it up and pick a couple of different ones. But both myself and Ian and Ross and Graham couldn't decide. Well, we couldn't not pick the games we picked, so I'm going to let Graham and Ross go first.
Well, I was thinking we
us-
should let you two go first because then it's like 0 to hero.
Well, I mean,
hang on.
let's save the best till last. So Graham,
Yeah.
Ross, please tag team Fusion fingers it away on the game of the year for 2012 on Xbox, please.
The only correct answer, of course, Graham.
Of course,
Apart
is
from our pick,
massive.
yes.
It's Mass Effect 3, one of the greatest, if not the greatest RPG series
Oh,
currently out there.
will
And
not be
yeah,
topped.
finished with a boom. Bit of a weekend.
Oh,
it fixed
I
that
say,
bit.
I don't want to say finish for boom. I think the ending was a travesty. But
Yeah,
the whole game
I,
was
I said that. I said
I-
that
I
obviously
will
once they
say-
fixed the ending, it was improved. But yeah,
Yeah, I will
itself
stick
was
up
still
for the
quality.
original ending. I didn't think it was that bad.
Oh,
Anyway,
what? Pick
carry
between
on.
3 colours.
Yeah, I didn't. I thought it was all right. I enjoyed the journey more than the destination. Let's
That's
go
what I
with
mean. It was about the journey, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But go on,
But yeah.
continue.
It
Carry
kept
on,
the-
lads.
The same level of quality all the way through the series. It didn't really drop, and yeah, for it to sort of hit that same bar for a third time in a row, it's not really heard of. And yeah, it was amazing. Still, yeah, love these kind of RPGs, and as a BioWare, they know how to do it.
I'm going to ask you a quick question before Ross starts because we ain't got all night. But you played as a male ship, yeah?
I did.
And did you have everybody alive by the time you reached the end of Mass Effect 3, or did you lose people along the way?
Well, I'm trying to remember exactly what that was. I think you can't help but losing one of them because it's part of the story.
Well, apart from the ones you had to lose, like
Yeah.
like in this, what's it, Mass Effect 2 suicide mission? Did you lose anyone there, for example?
No, I'm pretty sure I saved everyone on my playthrough. You just had to try
man.
your hardest to do that.
Yeah.
But
Tried your hardest to kill some people.
yeah, I know Jay. He's good at doing that.
I kept everyone alive. Thank you very much. Piece of piss. Fucking ultimate commander Shepard. And
There's only 2 people I wanted to die in that game, and the first one was Caden. He did it for me, so that's fine. And the second one was the other guy, the other white guy, big guy. What's his name?
I see how it is.
In
Vega.
number 2. No,
Oh.
in number 2, in 2, the big guy. What's his name? James?
Yeah, that's 3. He's Vega.
Oh no, not Vega. Is it Vega? Come back to me. I'm gonna Google.
James
Okay,
Vega.
Right. Yeah, but yeah, all right. So Ross, you might as well go because I can see you're literally trembling in your seat of excitement here.
Yeah, Vega. He's a dick.
Vega's fucking awesome. Take him on your squad more and learn more about him. He's awesome.
Wasn't he Freddie Prinze Jr., the voice actor of Freddie? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
No,
No,
don't think
Oh,
so.
it doesn't.
Anyway.
It doesn't matter anyway. Carry on.
Just the greatest game and final part of the greatest gaming franchise ever. Just it was a rare masterpiece of the developers knowing exactly what they need to do through each iteration to make it better. One, for much love you had for it, it was very blocky, very clunky, very unpolished, but still a fantastic game. 2, done everything that 1 did and then polished it up, made it even nicer. And then 3, took everything I had learned, added in all the nice little smooth extras that you needed, and was just factor in the multiplayer side of it, which was fucking incredible. I could quite happily just go back and play 3 numerous times. I don't care about the ending. Yes, you can look at it as 3 colours, or you can look at it no matter what you do, there's a sacrifice and you lose people or lose something that means something that you've gained throughout the 3 games, and there is no way to avoid it. That's how the ending should be looked at.
It's a good way of thinking it.
It's
Yeah,
not
and it
red,
wa-
blue and green. It is you have the option to kill the Geth, even though Legion has came on your side and helped, has fixed everything to do with the Quarians and the Geth and made their planet getting fixed so that the Quarians could go back and live in it. You need to destroy them. You can keep them at the risk of fucking ruining everything else, or you can sacrifice yourself to try and keep harmony in the galaxy.
good.
Exactly.
The greater
It's not exactly
good.
an easy choice.
No.
There was one thing with Mass Effect 3, it was really good multiplayer as well. I've had so much fun doing the multiplayer. match.
Oh,
I know it was
yeah.
just a horde mode, but
Yeah.
It was a fucking
it was
good
a
horde.
fucking
It was
great
fucking good
version
horde
of it.
mode, yeah.
I
Between
remember
obviously, like-
before it came out, we were all like myself, these two, and special guest Pete were like, why the fucking bother with multiplayer? No. And we played it. We must have played it like every night for months.
I put
Yeah,
a
we were
stupid
constantly
amount of
playing
hours in that. And it had like the loot box system as well. That obviously you could buy them, but you earned them through the game and things like that. So that was awesome as well.
Yeah, well, that was tough.
But
we
no,
put it on such a harder one to try and do it.
Yeah.
Didn't it feed into your single player progress as well? Like your galactic readiness or
your
whatever it was?
galactic readiness. Obviously,
I do think some items as well go into it, or some guns and stuff you got.
I don't know if I know they did that in Andromeda.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if they did it in 3. But no,
I
even
remember being crossed.
I know with the upspuff they took out the sort of the multiplayer being obviously because multiplayer's not in the upspuff, but I know that like they took obviously everything to do with that out your galactic readiness. But such a like I say, it had everything story element wise and the gameplay that the first 2 had. Then you add in the multiplayer side of it. It was just it's outstanding game. Absolutely loved Mass Effect.
I think it's kind of come along at the right time for all of us, like because that was before we sort of had kids and proper jobs and blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
and it was such a tremendous like what was it over about 6
time
years?
sink,
was it the 3 games?
Yeah, no.
When I think
sorry. How long did it take to come out?
Yeah. From the first one, I think back on them as one long game. I don't think back. I enjoyed Mass Effect 1, 2, 3. I think I just enjoyed Mass Effect.
Yeah,
it was fucking brilliant.
Because I only played the first Mass Effect maybe like a month or 2 months before Mass Effect 2 came out.
I played it about a week after Mass Effect 2 came out because I had never really heard of the series until 2 launched. Went back and played 1 so I could get on it 2.
Yeah, so I remember hearing, 2's coming out. I think I was speaking to Pete and you, maybe Jay, about it. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. And it's like, this is fucking amazing.
The DLC that was in 3 as well was fantastic. Between like the stuff to do with the Leviathan, the one where you go back to Omega, and then I forgot what it's called. The basically the shore leave one. I can't remember what that's called though. Where you go about and you solve the mystery of the secret shepherd and stuff like that, and then you actually get to have your interaction with all your crew. It's just I love that bit where you've got like the chance to do like the group photo of you, like half the team up on the balcony, half the team on the ground. It's just
Mass Effect did bring the greatest quote ever.
Which one? There was that many.
Well, bang, okay.
The unofficial Mass Effect quote from what's it, Manslayer, isn't it? But no, great collection of games. However, they're nowhere near as good, unfortunately, as mine and Ian's pick, which is Ian.
Oh, it has to be the greatest game ever. Well, one of the greatest games ever. Dishonored.
Damn right.
Damn right.
Ian, tell me all about why you love Dishonored so much and why it should be the correct answer.
And why you're wrong.
Well, because it's self-perfect. It's such a good fun ride. I mean, you can't complain. You've got so many different powers. I love the whole concept of the fact that you can just go for the whole game and kill no one whatsoever.
Not even the people that you're supposed to kill, like the bosses. Like you can find alternate ways to dispatch them.
Exactly. You can get them hidden. You can get them run away. You can get someone else to kill them for you.
Yes. My favorite one I always remember is I forget his name, but he was like the mine owner, like slave mine owner, and you can find him, cut out his tongue, put him in a box, and send him there as a new worker, and then he can't tell anyone who he is. So then he's like forced to work in the mines that he's like abused all these people in. I'm like, yeah, fuck you. It's maybe a bit twisted, but it's good. As you said, Ian, the stealth is perfect in my eyes. I wrote a thing a long time ago for a different website, way back when, saying like Dishonored basically ruined stealth games for me because ever since then, there's been some good ones, but nothing's come close to how Dishonored did it. Like, I love
the fact that it's first person as well, so you can't easily see behind you and stuff. Yeah, that's what's done great.
And the way they lay out the levels and like the NPCs in that, it's not always a case of right, I just need to walk around them kind of thing. Because of the powers and stuff, you got like blink and stop time and all that sort of stuff. You can go up onto the rooftops and find a different way into the building, or go underground, or go around, or you can go in all guns blazing. But that's the boring way to play. You gotta get through without anyone seeing you.
Like, try not to do it. No collateral damage whatsoever. Just keep around. Maybe put them to sleep or something, and then put them in a box or hide them around a corner. Hoping no rats eat them up. I've had that before.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, you got to be sure you don't dump them down in a rat feeding ground. But yeah, it was just tremendous from start to finish. I remember we played it at EGX. I was talking to someone about it the other day, and he reviewed it before EGX, and he was like, I played this and it's fucking brilliant. And we played it there. And I think I played it about 3 or 4 times a demo because I was like, this is brilliant. And it finally got hold of it, and I absolutely love that game. I bought it. Well, I bought the remaster before it come to Game Pass and stuff, and I bought it on PC and I bought it on Xbox, and I'll probably buy it again if it comes anywhere else. Because
I think I've got played it about 3 or 4 or 5 times. I played all the versions as well. Like I said, the 360, the remake, remastered on the Xbox, the one that came to Game Pass on the PC. Did it again. So good.
Such a good game. As you said, if you like stealth games, Graham, I know you love a bit of stealth.
I played Dishonored. I did complete the first one. Doesn't mean I have to. I didn't play it stealthily because that's how losers play.
Yeah, well, you don't have to, but it is the perfect stealth game. 2 was fucking brilliant, and they're probably about on par. But for me, I think I still prefer.
For 1, yeah, 1's far superior to 2. I find. I think 1 just does it great, and obviously because one of the first ones you do. I mean, and now I've got so good at it as well. I can pretty much speed run most of the areas now. So there's like, oh, remember this? Go here, 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 here. You just go in the sky, go in the roof, go through this building. Creep through. And
it's always so much fun where there was one bit, I forget exactly again, like just trying to get into a castle or something. There was a massive wall, and the obvious answer is to go through the big gate, but there's also a little vent at the top. There's a couple of little alleyways underneath, there's a little side, and you can choose whatever way you want. As long as you get there, you can
go through the fountain as well.
It's just so good, so open and so clever.
And multiple ways of doing something is always good fun. And how you can listen to the story missions where you can, like, say, you can get like the neutral king, or you can literally just knock him out and stuff and kill him as much as you want. Or just run into the room and blow him up.
Yeah, they're not like, because the trailer isn't really doing the best at doing the whole subtle aspect of it.
Yeah, I watched the launch trailer for the 360 before we come on it, and it's basically is like the speedrunners who fucking shooting everyone and stabbing up and chopping their heads off and stuff. I was like, that's not how you play Dishonored. I know you've got to show that stuff in the trailer because it's a bit more exciting, but
you can't have someone talking to someone and going, speak to this man, put him in a box.
Just like slowly crawling around the corner. The most exciting trailer as well. But yeah, no, I fucking love it. What a tremendous game. I was thinking about playing it again recently. However, we'll get to that later. I've been playing another game which might be somewhat related.
The thing is, like, looks wise, it looks beautiful. I like the sort of like steampunk idea, how it's laid out and things like that. But I just, and the thing is, I like stealth games. I like the idea, like the powers and stuff like that. But for some reason, I just didn't grab me enough to stick it out, and I don't know why.
I was going to say, if it grabs you, if you just get to that point. I mean, I don't want to be one of the guys. Oh, it gets really good 3 hours in, because as far as I'm concerned, it gets it good.
It's good straight away.
You turn it on. But yeah, if you get used to using the blink and stuff and just teleporting around, then it just opens up to a mad degree.
I just remember going all in on blink, so you can go blink the furthest you can, and that's all you really need. If you got blink, that's all you really need to play for the game. Also, there's other bits like slow time, make it a bit more fun. Obviously, look through walls and stuff. Possession, that makes it a bit more different. Like I say, the possession one's quite cool because you can possess and then maybe throw them into a light wall or walk slowly around the corner and escape quickly and then knock them out.
But yeah, tremendous game. So a couple of decent games there. I want to give a quick shout out to some honourable mentions. Can't say that word. And just as a quick aside, it was Freddie Prinze Jr. doing James Vega in Mass Effect 3, which is probably why I hated him so much. I'm with you, Ian. Represent. Quick shout outs. We'll go around everybody, give them a quick second opinion. My main one would be Mark and the Ninja, another stealth game. Fucking tremendous 2D stealth game. Definitely play that. And of course, Lollipop Chainsaw 2012. I played a bit the other day. I loaded up my old save and I was right in the middle of a boss fight. Got my ass handed to me, so I turned it off. But it's still brilliant. Still brilliant. I love it. It's such a great game. Ian, honorable mentions? My
honorable mention is, again, another stealth game. We're here on the trend, Hitman Absolution. Not the greatest Hitman. Not the greatest Hitman, but still really fun ride. I still love it. I love the franchise. And they tried to go something different. And the fact that went somewhere different was quite cool. But it also didn't really work well. They've got to go for the whole, which they've gone back to the original kind of version where it's all a bit more open plan rather than linear story. And the other one, which is a great game, which I thoroughly recommend anyone playing, if you like the whole open world GTA style, is Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. I did quite like that one as well.
Especially like the over the top, like kung fu action, like leaping over walls and fucking getting into fist fights left, right, and centre, and then running everyone over. Brilliant. Great game. Graham, any honourable mentions from yourself?
Only very briefly. There is the first iteration of Fifa Street, which is kind of like freestyling kind of one. It had like normal sort of top tier footballers in a sort of street environment doing skills and tricks. It's like a 3-on-3 kind of style. You can mismatch your team up, and it was just like a bit more fun arcade style kind of football game. They kind of brought it back with the kind of the Volta and the current kind of FIFAs, but it doesn't have
the same appeal.
FIFA, nowhere near. FIFA Street was a bit more caricature, the kind of bit of extended, exaggerated, and it was just quite fun to play.
FIFA Street
just when I started forgetting about Street Power Soccer, and that's all.
That's nowhere near either. That was pretty good.
And what about yourself, Ross? Any honourable mentions for yourself?
Had it not been for Mass Effect, it would have been my game of the year. But Borderlands 2, the best one in the series, wasn't perfect. It had all its flaws, but by God, did I put a ridiculous amount of hours into that game.
I've no doubt about that.
I'm up in at least the thousands for that one.
Well, good.
Best sort of looter shooter type idea that I think that any company has brought out. Clean your Destiny.
Is that the only one? Oh yeah, just say Destiny. No, you're right.
Well, some good games there. I want to give one other shout out because I suppose Dan's not here to call it out. Walking Dead, the first season come out that year.
Dan, that's probably Dan's game of the year.
I knew he would. I had to shout out because that's a fucking brilliant game as well. And
his favorite couple.
And of course, Resident Evil 6, which is shit, but it's a Resident Evil game, so it gets a count out.
Do you think that's why he's taking this week off? Because he knew that?
Yeah. Oh, also, Azura's Raft. Brilliant game.
Oh, yes. There's so many there were so many choices.
I think 2012 has been like a banging year for video games. Think about
absolutely brilliant. When I was going down the list, I had about 15 I could have chosen from, but nothing was going to top Dishonored. Anyway, let's get into the community answers. So our lovely superstar supporter Beth says Forza Horizon. I guess the first one. I'm not familiar with the series.
First one came out.
First one. Obviously, as series have gone from strength to strength.
Where was that based? Ross, you'll know.
2 was France.
No, 2 was Australia. Was it San Francisco?
3 was Australia, wasn't it?
3 was Australia.
3 was
4
Australia.
was England. 5 was Mexico. 2 was France. 1, where was 1?
If only there was a way to find out. Right, while you look that up, at Billy Ho WCR on Twitter said, I was still playing Battlefield 3 from the previous year and didn't care about any 2012 games. Not even Dishonored, Billy.
Colorado, USA.
There we go, Colorado. Billy, what are you doing? Dishonored, Mass Effect, Lollipop Chainsaw, Walking Dead. What are you doing, Billy? Fucking get on it. Go back and play them games. And our good friend, newly married man, special guest Pete, he said, so many great games this year, including The Walking Dead, XCOM, and Max Payne 3, which was also another fantastic game.
Well, what did he pick for the best game of the year, I wonder, huh?
However, the only correct answer for me, apart from Dishonored, he says here, it definitely says that, is Mass Effect 3. And he put here that Kinect even worked for it. I mean, he didn't quite spell it right, but Kinect worked, which was something else I meant to bring up earlier on. Did anybody else use Kinect for Mass Effect 3?
No.
You missed out.
I can't remember what you had to do for it. What did you do?
So, you know, when you had the dialogue choices on the wheel, you usually use the analog stick to select one of the 6 choices or 4, whatever it was. You could just say it out loud instead and it would choose it for you. So it was almost like you were speaking for him and then Shepard would actually say what you wanted to say. And it was pointless and a little bit more time consuming than just picking the option. But I played the whole game like that and I thought it was brilliant.
The whole game? Oh, I'll get too angry.
I loved it. Can you imagine Kinect trying to pick up a Scottish accent to do the voice commands for Commander Shepard? The game, I usually take about 50 hours to complete it as it is. It'd be like 150 hours just to try and fucking complete it.
Here's a question. Sorry.
Now go.
Did you change your Commander Shepard to look like you, or did you keep him the basic?
First time I ever played 1, I custom made it, and then when it went to 2, I just went as it standard.
I didn't make it look like me, but I didn't keep the default one. I just pissed around with the sliders until I got something that I thought was hilarious and left it there.
That was it, done.
Not hilarious, but yeah, similar.
I made mine black, so yeah.
I mean, obviously. I think my one had boss eyes and fucking massive cheeks, like a long chin.
It doesn't surprise me one bit. Yeah, I was a black guy, so yeah. Cool.
Nice.
That was all.
Nice.
Curious.
Well, yeah. So 2012, obviously a fantastic game. Next week we will discuss 2013, which was when the Xbox One came out, right, in November.
Yep,
I
correct.
don't think that obviously the main Xbox One early game was the following year, but I'm sure there'll be some other games that will be worth talking about for 2013. Cool.
I'm thinking mine might be quite controversial. But
Yeah, I mean, I haven't looked yet. I haven't spoiled it for myself, but we'll get into that next week on.
I think I know why it's ready because that's one of the games I played a lot in 2013. So
Yeah, well, as long as it's not fucking Thief, we can go from there. Anyway, gentlemen, let's get into the current day. Bring back to the modern day era where we're playing video games. And we do a thing called Project Game Pass, which is where we pick a game from Game Pass every month. We play it, we discuss it, and at the end of the month, we rate and give it a quick review, and then we move on to the next one. Kind of cheating this month because we picked Fall Guys, not technically in Game Pass, but it's also free to play, and it's fucking brilliant. So we thought we'll just let that one slide for a little bit. We played a bit on Friday, Ian, me, you,
Yes,
and
we
the
did.
special guest Pete, and I think we had a fantastic time.
Do you get
we
a win?
did. Nope.
No, we did. I don't think we won anything. We played Fortnite first and then Fall Guys. I don't think we won a single round of anything. But it was good fun regardless. So Ian, do you want to give us your quick summary thoughts on the Fall Guys experience for the month?
Fall Guys for the month. It's a brilliant game, but I would never play it on my own. That's the way I see it. I would never ever go, I want to play Fall Guys now. I'll either go, oh, Jamie's on. Jamie, do you want to play Fall Guys? And then that's how I'll be playing my Fall Guys. I'll never ever go on it solo.
It's
Right.
definitely a better experience with people. However, I'm kind of the opposite. I was literally playing it on my own this morning on the Switch. Not the best way to play it, by the way. Don't play it on the Switch. It's pretty janky, but while I was sitting there, the kids were watching TV, and I thought I'd just have a quick game or something. Oh, Fall Guys will do. Did a few rounds. Obviously, I didn't win because no, but it was good fun anyway. Graham, your thoughts on Fall Guys?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm happy to play it with. It's obviously more fun with friends, but I'm quite happy to pick it up by myself. I like having a look in now and then what the events are on, because they kind of like pick one style of round, and so you have like multiple rounds of just that style, and that can be quite fun just to keep mixing it up and everything.
Yeah,
I mean, the latest one was just all races or something like that.
Yeah, at the minute they got one called Big Yeetus, where all the maps have big swinging hammers, and the idea is to send you fucking flying to try and get to the end quicker. I tried a few rounds earlier on. Again, I didn't win, but it was quite fun just hitting the hammer just right and being launched fucking sky high. When it didn't send me straight down into the ground, of course.
But,
So have you got a win, Graham?
Quite happy to play it on loan. I have got one win since my time playing it, but yeah, not for a long time. That's the only win I got. That was on that falling blocks one, where the last person standing one. I managed to fluke my way through that.
Ah, nice work there.
Good work, sir. Good work. Golf clap. Ross, what about your thoughts on Fall Guys? Have you enjoyed it?
I have. I love the Fall Guys games. I've been playing it back since PlayStation days. I have a janky ass iPhone version called Stumble Guys on my phone to play that as well. So, no, I think they're a brilliant game. It's a absolutely great laugh, especially as you say, having playing it as a group's better, but playing it individually you still get a good enjoyment out of it. Really glad we've sort of all got it now. It's free to play. It's cross-platform. There's always going to be new things coming to it. They've done a really great job of adding new maps, the skins, the game modes. Just they've really hit it out of the park with the concept of the game.
It's a fantastic. I mean, like we were saying before, I think a couple of weeks ago, the battle royale genre is sort of exploding at Fortnite and PUBG and all that sort of stuff. But it's nice to have something different, not just shooting people. It's just a case of complete obstacle courses and try and have a laugh, basically, rather than get all sweaty trying to shoot someone or gather all the best loot and stuff. So quick round table then. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs middle, as we like to do. Thumbs up, thumbs up all
definitely.
round. I'm pretty sure Daniel's enjoyed it just as much. I'm sure he'll tell us next week if he's back.
Next week.
But yeah, Fall Guys, great game. Obviously not on Game Pass. Cheating. We're going to skip that this month because we picked a new game. But go check out free to play on all the platforms: Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox, all the platforms, PC, etc., etc. Go for it. Good game. I'm definitely going to keep playing it. A lot of the Project Game Pass games we played Obviously, after the month, I tend to sort of fall off them because we're not really focused on it anymore. But I'm definitely going to keep coming back to Fall Guys, at least a couple of times a month, if not more often, because it's just something quick and easy to get into when I've got 20 minutes. I'll just have a quick run, stumble, see if I can actually get a crown. Probably not, but I live in hope. Cool. So we're going to move on to picking our new game, which I believe Graham discussed briefly last week.
Yes.
Which is Escape Academy, which come to Game Pass, I think, last week or the week before. This is, if you're not familiar, a first-person escape room puzzle type thing, which you can play in co-op. And the idea is to hunt the environment that you're in, like the small area you're in, for clues to try and solve the puzzles in order to get out of the room. Hence, escape room. Myself and Graham played it, as he discussed last week, and it was brilliant. We finished We Were Here, which is a similar sort of idea, but slightly differently executed. And this one is, just as good, I think. We've only done the first, 3 puzzles with it we completed?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, first 3.
And the good thing about this one, which I quite enjoyed, unlike We Were Here, where we got to try and explain everything to each other, even if you're playing online co-op, it's still split screen. So we could both see what each other was doing. So if, like Graham said last week, if there's a code on the wall, I could stand there and look at it while he could go and input it. Or if I was looking at something and I wasn't sure what it was, I could just stay there and let him look rather than be like, well, there's a shape at a 46-degree angle and it goes up and round, and you can just look at it. And it's a really good game. So we're going to play that. I imagine you two are going to team up, are you, Ian and Ross?
Hey, I was game for it. I was told that it would be either a roaring success or we'd kill each other.
Yeah, that's what I imagine. I
think you'd be all right. This one's a bit of a safer pace. It's tricky, but it's not like massively taxing. As long as you keep your speed up and keep searching around, it's good fun.
Cool.
Yeah, that's the thing with this one, isn't it? Because there's time limits. So the last one we did, as Graham said again, we had 30 minutes. I think we did like 27 minutes or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But the only thing I'm not sure about so far, anyway, is that obviously now we've done it, we could, if in theory, go back and probably beat in about 10 minutes. So nothing changes up, nothing mixes up.
The same, yeah.
So it's not a case of like, well, what's going to happen this time as well? We've solved this puzzle. We already know how to do it. So there's no point me playing with you, Ian, because you'd be the only one being like, I don't know what's going on. In theory, anyway, I might not know what's going on, but I've already done it, which is a bit of a shame. But
replay value is always going to be tricky in this bit, unless they mixed it up in each room, which isn't going to be the easiest to design.
Like randomize some of the puzzle elements or something. But again, we've only played 3. I think there's 10 puzzles they said.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
And they get longer and harder.
Yeah.
Easy, ladies. They get longer and harder the further you go.
Just how they like it.
I'd like to see you two try. Obviously, we want to get Dan involved. Maybe get special guest Pete involved. You can team up with someone.
Dan and Pete.
Or indeed any one of the other.
Please, can we try and get Dan and Pete together?
I think Pete would kill Dan.
I would pay
that's
you
going to
watch
be
that.
streamed.
Or at the very least, what we could do, because we've already started. Obviously, you guys could get up to where we're at. And then we could mix and match for each puzzle. So me and Ross could team up with one, and Graham and Ian, etc., just mix it up rather than keep it in our pairs. But we'll see how we go. Of course, we've got to actually find time to pluck and play it first. So we'll worry about that first. So it should be good. It looks really good. It's got a lot of decent reviews already. We haven't reviewed it yet, but depending on how well we get on, I might consider doing a review for it. So Escape Academy, go check it out and let us know your thoughts on it on Twitter at Xbox Tavern, or next week in the comments if you'd like to. Good game. You can play it solo, so you don't have to play it co-op. But obviously, again, as with most games, it's far more enjoyable with someone to shout at you for not fucking picking.
Why the fuck did you not do that?
Exactly.
That'll be me and Ross.
So hopefully you guys playing it soon. However, let's talk about the games we are playing right now, or have been playing right now, I should say. Ross.
Do you really want to start with me?
Yes. Come on, Ross. Get it out of the way. Tell me all about Football Manager 22. Not all about, just some.
Not how I've individually customized my training for each player in different individual training groups. And
please go into great detail about all of the intricacies of your system.
I started doing an online game. Brighton and Bristol City. we are December. Me and one of my mates just jumping into that. We emptied both clubs out, so we started with no players. Gave ourselves.
I mean, that sounds like a bad idea of a football team.
No. So we
And on the pitch, no one.
We emptied the whole club, and then we worked out sort of 25-man squad, Premier League, about 20 million per player to sort of fill that gap. So we put 500 million in our banks, but have to build the squad from that money. So sort of weighing up between trying to keep money in the bank and being able to function, or get big superstars and then make your money by performing well in the league. So tried to do a wee bit of challenge on it. Bristol currently languishing just outside the Europa Conference League places, and Brighton are currently unbeaten at the top of the league. I think 13 games played, 12 wins, 1 draw. Sorry, no, 1 defeat. We got beat off Brentford. Embarrassing. So, but no, enjoying a little bit of online sort of play with FM. It's certainly the best way to play it, because you've got the tension of the games, as much as it's not everybody's cup of tea, but when you're sort of going into a match against the person that you're playing against, it's quite it's sort of like a more wrapped up version of sort of the FIFA idea of it, whether it be Ultimate Team or stuff like that, because your decisions are what's going to basically decide who wins the game, and then changing during the game and things like that. So no, it's certainly the best way to play it is an online sort of co-op idea.
Nice. That's where it sounds like you're very invested, and I wish I had a slightly. Has anybody else got a slightly more interesting question to ask him?
I'm not going into this time.
If you want to see if you want to see how bad it has actually got.
Is that a specific one you bought, or have you printed it out yourself?
No. This is a specific one with your individual details to do with your profile, your league campaigns.
I mean, that looks a bit thick for my liking. Like
That's insane.
That's what she said.
It's to cover 5 seasons, so like you've got like your season info and what you expect to do in the season, and what your team tactics are and things like that. So yeah, quite invested, you could say.
yeah. So we look forward to more updates as the season progresses.
Do we?
This is a weekly feature till like the middle of next year.
Exciting, right? Thank you very much. Anything else for us before we move on to one of the other guys?
No, it has been all consuming this week.
Nice. Well, thank you very much for Football Manager Talk. We shall get back to that next week and the week after, and probably every week until the end of time. Ian, tell me about video games you've been
So
playing.
don't suffer us that long. Games I've been playing. I have played a game that I reviewed this week.
Jesus Christ.
Did you have it since last year?
No, I had it. How long did it take me? Less than a week.
So
I know. Actually on time for a change.
before you start, the art style of this game, and I think it could be because of how the trailer looks, reminds me a lot of Project Winter.
Yes, I get that vibe. Yeah, I know what you mean. So I played South of the Circle. What to talk about South of the Circle without spoilers? Really good game. Like I say, very heavy story driven, because it's basically all interactive. Talk about your guy called Peter, who's a kind of Cambridge teacher, and he meets this lady called Clara on the train. And it's kind of like a love story about that as well. So it intertwines that a bit. A lot of it's more in the past, and a lot of it's in the present, but then they kind of transition to the past quite a lot often. And my favorite bit about it is the way they do the transition. So, like, for example, you could be walking slowly in the snow, and all of a sudden you like walk through like a thick fog, and then all of a sudden you're out in the train station. Or, for example, you're walking into a room, turn light on, and then another light comes on in another area and back in the past. Maybe you drop something and then you pick it up and then you're in the past again. So it kind of entwines those kind of bits really, really well. So it kind of transitions that really well. I just feel, I don't want to give too much away, but I spoil it because I really think people should play it. If they really enjoy just a nice chilled out evening where you're just listening to a story, you're not really doing much, not much. I can't say there's much gameplay. The gameplay really is you walking around. There's no real like fighting or anything like that. It's just pure walking sim with a heavily narrative story-driven game.
Was there dialogue choices to make?
Yeah, so there's similar dialogue choices to make. So it's more done on emotions. So if you want to say something that's quite like, like, but you panic when you speak about it, you hold a button which kind of does a symbol, but you don't get to choose. It kind of does it randomly throughout the game. So it will say like you have choice of either like an emotional, be really happy or really annoyed, and then you pick which one you want to be. Or sometimes you only have the choice of being annoyed, and you can't skip it. You have to pick an emotion. If you don't pick an emotion, they pick one at random, or it will pick the one that's left there on its own.
And does that affect the story? Like, does it branch off or anything, or is it just to fill in the gaps, as it were?
It's sort of filling the gaps, kind of make your character kind of talk how you want to talk. There's a few times you will like have to pick an option, and then when you pick an option, it will kind of put a little icon at the top of your window, and that affects the ending towards the end of the game. Something will happen, which I don't want to see as much spoilers away. So when you start speaking about all them, it will happen at the end.
Okay. So how long did it take you to beat? A few hours, or?
It's about 3 to 4 hours. So I did over 2 nights, 2 and a bit nights.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it wasn't too bad. So yeah, because obviously I was just sat there chilling out, playing it. It was quite nice, relaxing, and yeah, it's not long at all. So
An enjoyable little story-based adventure game.
yes, definitely.
Yeah, and I must admit, this one did catch my eye, so I think I'm definitely going to check it out at some point soon. And what else have you been playing, sir?
So the other game I've been playing was I went to I don't know why I started. I think I just started because I was just randomly thought I want to play this game, and that's called the Turing Test.
Mm-hmm.
And basically it's Discount Portal. It's the best way of putting it.
It's not Discount Portal.
What do you have to do in the game then?
It's very much logic based. So it's kind of you enter a room, you escape the room by doing a series of events, like wherever you go, shoot like a little kind of like energy ball into a certain area, but you got to kind of get to that area first before you can actually shoot that little energy ball into the area to open the door. A similar concept to Portal-based space, all little rooms. What's the lady's name? What you might remember?
I can't remember. No. I just like the story of it.
Yeah, it's basically the story of a lady. She's kind of trapped, and she's kind of trying to get through this kind of trying to escape the ship reality, and trying to escape the ship, and then she's got to go through a series of rooms. So each room's got up to number 70. I think 70 is the final room, and eventually get to the end, and that's where the kind of the culmination kind of ends. But yeah, it's all about kind of just like you're on the space station, you kind of get through each room, and yeah.
Not to mention the very psychopathic computer that's trying to.
Oh yeah, there's of course another psychopathic computer, like a Portal, but it talks to you a lot and won't shut up.
Yeah.
Like every room you enter, she just talks at you. It's like, at least the character talks back, which is nice. It's not silence. So yeah.
Nice. So is it? I assume it's not like a funny game like Portal. It's more of a straight laced type thing.
Yeah, straight laced, kind of bit of a serious story of it all, but not too where there's no real jokes or anything in there like Portal is, like you say.
Yeah. Fair enough. And this was a Games of Gold title, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was back in the day. Yeah, quite a while ago it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what randomly made me play. I think I just saw it installed on my computer. Xbox like, I not finished this game. I was like, no, I haven't. So I was like, finish up.
Yeah. Why the hell not? Get those Chivos. Yeah,
Exactly.
like I said to you before we started, I think it's one that I caught my eye because of the Portal comparison stuff, but I've never even started it. So
it's a good game. Should definitely play it.
I think I started it back in 2018. I know you just finished it yesterday. So yeah, that's the one.
Sonic mainly.
I was about to say Sonic Mania style. Yeah. Yeah, nice. Well, yeah, go check that out. Obviously, if you've got Games of Gold, hopefully you've got it as well. You can go play it and let Ian know what you think at Nutty Ray on Twitters.
Do it.
Graham,
do it now.
Yes.
Tell me about video games you've been playing this week, as long as they're good and not Football Manager.
No football
or football related at all.
No. Well, I have dabbled in it, but it's nothing interesting to mention on that front. But I've dabbled in our Game of the Week, Fall Guys, just every now and then. Even my kids just ask me to play that one every now and then. Still haven't got any more wins on there. Keep making the final round, just don't quite get to finish the game first, unfortunately. I did came second and third on one of them, but I haven't. That's as close as I've come since.
Yeah.
But yeah, just great fun. And I don't mind, as I said earlier, playing that one by myself. I've tried to find the next game to sort of play on because I mentioned last week I played the Garden Story game and I finished that one now. That one didn't take me too long, but that was relatively a simple kind of game. It's kind of very casual and not too taxing. But yeah, just one to whittle the time away, and yeah, I managed to smash that one through last week, and so I had to pick a new target to go on, and I did start Far Cry 6 last week, or I started it before, but I picked up that bit and I'm running with that one. But whilst my kids are around, it's not really one that I can play that way. So
yeah, not a big family-friendly game, is it?
Yeah, especially when you're doing the close-up melee kills, it's not very family-friendly. Yeah, and so I'm playing that in tandem with the Guardians of the Galaxy game. I picked that one up when it was on offer a while ago, and then it flew into Game Pass as well. So I thought I'd start playing that one, and yeah, I'm quite early in. I'm only in like the first kind of hour into that one, and yeah, I'm liking it so far. I can see how it mixes up. I'm trying to think of another game it's kind of like, but it's sort of you just use your team to sort of help you. I suppose in a kind of way, it reminded me of the Knights of the Old Republic kind of game. You just set commands for your team to do to try and help you, but it's not as complex. It's that they've got quite simple commands that you can ask Groot to sort of pin everyone down so you can start shooting at them, or you can get Rocket to fire something at them that hits all the enemies at once.
Oh,
Or
okay.
if there's a bigger enemy, you can send Drax on to sort of stun the big enemy, or have take a chunk of damage off someone that's really got a really heavy shield. So you send Drax to sort of do that. So you're just sending commands whilst you're fighting in the meantime to try and help out in battle.
Are you just playing as Star-Lord then? Is it Star-Lord?
Yeah, so you play as kind of Star-Lord, and then you're just kind of, you got your guns, and basically it's got like the same sort of reload function as Gears of War, where you got to hit the green bit to sort of reload quicker, and your gun becomes a little bit more stronger that way. So there's kind of just things happening on the fly in the combat, and yeah, you just set the different commands for your team to do to try and help out, and then in between that there's just different bits like puzzles you do where you ask Drax to move a big object here to there to sort of get up to certain levels, or you can ask Groot to create bridges, ask Rocket Raccoon to sort of hack things and stuff. So
Is it quite a long game?
I'm only an hour into it.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So I'm still pretty early on and just learning all the different tutorial kind of bits. Like I remember Dan talking about it when he said he completed it. There's a team huddle bit, which I've literally just come to a bit where you get your team together and you have to give some sort of motivational speech to try and get their kind of strength up as they're helping you in battle. And I got the thing wrong, so you don't get as much benefit. I think they're probably one of the clever things they have as you're playing it through. They're constantly talking, and you get a choice to make where, like you say, your character almost slipped, and they basically, you either say brush it off or play it cool kind of thing. You got two different ways to sort of take the conversation, or throw Rocket under the bus and like blame him, or ignore it and let him get away with it. Let him lie. So you can call things out, and you can and they have different impacts on how they kind of progress or how they react, the motivation levels, should we say.
Yeah.
So it's got quite a few cool different elements. So I'll see how I sort of progress into that one. But yeah, enjoying it so far. It's pretty good.
Oh, awesome.
Nice. Yeah, like you said, when you picked it up, I've been interested to give it a try. But as ever, with fucking 10 ton of games coming out all the time, It's just a case of getting around to it.
But that's a bit more family friendly, so I can get away with that one a little bit more.
Nice. Well, if you need a co-op buddy to help you through some Far Cry 6 as well, give me a shout.
Can do.
I feel like you need a bit of warming up, Craig.
Well, I'm still charging for it. I've got slightly better guns now, so I can cope a bit more now.
Yeah, no, I've maybe a little bit of Molotovs or flamethrower coming your way,
You start off with a flamethrower. That was already nice.
I know, that was brilliant. That's my favourite part of the game.
Even the fire do not mix well in Far Cry games. But they just can't move for bloody everything on fire.
Everything is on fire right now. Now time to whip out the bow and arrow.
Why am I still being hurt? What is going? Oh, fire!
Jamie's got access to fire.
Yeah.
They, like you said, they fucked up. They gave me a flamethrower. Literally,
Flamethrower
the
straight
first 5
away,
minutes. It's like, fucking bring it on. Nice. Well, yeah, some decent games there. Looks definitely Guardians of the Galaxy one I want to check out and play some Far Cry 6 with it.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
Anything
yourself?
else? Oh wait, well, right. Because I've missed a few weeks, I'm a little bit behind. But I really wanted to talk about 2 games in particular.
Far Cry, Resident Evil 5.
Resident Evil 5 is the greatest Resident Evil. No.
Finally admits it.
Yeah.
What?
Hey, he's admitted it. That's
Finally, I
it.
want to get to. I'm going to start with
Clip
the
that.
slightly lesser one. Yeah, don't clip that shit. Bright Memory Infinite come out a few weeks ago. Finally, I spoke about how I reviewed Bright Memory when the Xbox Series console launched, and it was decent but very, very slight. And Bright Memory Infinite is more of the same, but more of a full game. It's still quite short. It's only a couple of hours long, and I must admit, when I got to the end, like I did this big boss fight, and I was like, right, now we're going to the next bit, and it just finished. I was like, hang on a minute, where's the rest of it? You've fucking done me again, you bastards. But what is there is really enjoyable. So the combat's fast and fluid. The guns themselves, I think there's 4 guns to pick from: a shotgun, a pistol, a sniper, and some sort of machine gun. And they've all got a real good heft to them. You know, like in some games you fire and it's like, well, it's almost like you've got a pea shooter in your hands. Here, no matter what gun you've got, there is some impact. Like the enemies go flying, and between the vibration and the audio effects and stuff, like it just proper kicks off. Like it feels like you're firing a heavy duty weapon. And her abilities that you've got, which transfer over from the last game, you can do like almost like a force push and like make the enemies explode into chunks. But if it doesn't kill them straight out, it lifts them up into the air, so they sort of levitate, and then you can use your, I forget what they call it, it's a light blade, I think it is, and you can jump up in the air and slash them with the sword to try and kill them, and then you can like combo from one enemy to another, and obviously the bigger, stronger enemies take more and more hits, so you can slash away, and then you can upgrade to get more power, so then bring them back down and do like a ground pound and slide and fucking, oh, it's brilliant. It's really good. It's like old school arcade first person shooting, but it looks tremendous. The ray tracing mode, I must admit, was a bit pointless because all I really noticed was the back of her gloves got a bit of a metallic sheen to it, and when you turn it on, it makes it slightly shinier. That's about it. So I left it on because it didn't impact performance, but there was no real point to it. But yeah, it's a great little couple of hours arcade game to play. The story is absolute fucking gibberish. It's some sort of, that old arcade games where you get like the little cutscene, you just mash the button. Let me just skip and play the fucking game.
skip.
I've no idea what happened. There was some sort of otherworld demon and powers and government conspiracies going on. Makes no odds. But the combat was good. The only real niggle I thought was when you get into like a combat area, obviously there's loads of enemies to fight and stuff, but you can't progress until you kill them all. It's not like if you're stuck wherever, you can just run past them. And there was a couple of areas where killed everyone, but there was one enemy left that was sort of almost hidden behind scenery, and so I had to spend ages trying to fucking find them. And there was one that was up on the top of a tower, and he could only see me at a very specific point, so I kept him to get into his line of sight. He'd shoot me, I'd try and fire up a couple of shots and then get out of the way, heal up, and then get back again. But for the most part, it was really good. I enjoyed my playthrough of it quite a lot. The powers especially, and then you can do new game plus and go back to it and keep your powers and start from the fresh and just fucking destroy everyone from the beginning.
I do want to have a crack at that as well.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
As you said, it's quite short. I might have I'll go back to it because I did play. Obviously, the first one was super short.
Yeah, the first one I think you could beat about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
This one, I think my first full run, I played about half of it again, but the first start to finish was I think 1 hour 57.
Oh wow, okay, 2 hours.
Still super short, but
okay. It's that short. I might definitely have another go at it.
Yeah, much more in depth than Bright Memory. Like it looks a lot nicer, and the powers and stuff are a lot more developed. Yeah, they're really good, really good. Definitely worth checking out on the Xbox Series X and S, because it's not on Xbox One because it's too powerful.
Too much power.
Powerful of a game.
Too much power. No.
And the main one that I really wanted to talk about a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't obviously turn up because I had things going on, is As Dusk Falls. Now, gentlemen, it's been out for a couple of weeks at this point. Has anybody else played As Dusk Falls yet?
Not yet.
Yeah. It is something I will have a go of.
It's one of the ones I want to talk to you about before I start playing it.
Tremendously disappointing because it's fucking brilliant. It's definitely one of my favorite games this year. I gave it a 10, which caused a lot of people to message me and be like, "Oh, I can't believe you gave it a 10. Fuck off." I loved it. Yeah. So the story, if you're not familiar, is you sort of follow the story of Vince. Oh God, it's been a while since I played it. I'm going to remember her name. Vince. Yeah. Oh my God. Vince, Jay, and Vince's daughter, whose name escapes me right now. And the idea is that
Stephanie.
Yeah. Vince and his family are going on. They're moving to a new city, and part of the way there, they get into a car crash. They end up at this place called the Desert Dream Motel, which they're supposed to stay there tonight, get the car fixed, and then on they go. But as they arrive, so there's some robbers who've robbed the sheriff's house of the town nearby, and they sort of hold them hostage. And the idea is to follow the story as this group of robbers interact with this family, and how what your decisions you choose, like a choose your own adventure type thing, affects the lives and the outcomes of each character. And I was hooked from start to finish. There's 6 chapters, each about an hour long, and I think in the first couple you play as Vince, and then you control Jay, and then later on you control Vince's daughter when things have grown up, because it's set in 2 time periods. When this happened, I think it's in the 90s, and then it skips forward about 20 years to when they're a bit further on, they've grown up. And it's just fucking brilliant. The acting is tremendous, I thought. The visual style, which I know a lot of people were put off by, I thought it was tremendous, especially in like when you're actually playing. It didn't quite sit so well in trailers, I don't think, but when you're in the moment and you're sort of choosing the dialogue choices, the way they've animated the real life actors to be almost like a stop motion comic, it just works excellently, because they also integrate it with like real-time 3D rendering. So for example, when the sheriff arrives at the motel, his car door swings open in real time, but then you got like the stop motion of him getting out of the car, and then they got different camera cuts and stuff. And when there's high action scenes, it sort of they're faster stop motion, but it's sort of like it adds some extra screen shake effects and stuff. There's a few quick time events which I'm very good at.
Oh my god! How much did you butcher them?
Yeah,
well,
he has to go past that bit.
This is what I was going to say. I aced every single one, so they're not
Fuck,
actually
must
that
be
hard.
easy.
I was going to say they're not hard at all.
Fucking sus.
I didn't even like even my usual. Just see if I need to press this button. I didn't fail a single one, but a lot of the things, be it quick time event or dialogue choices, affect the outcome of the story. So when you finish a chapter, you get to see like the paths you could have taken, like in what was it, Detroit Become Human did that?
Yeah.
Where it showed you the sort of potential outcomes, and the scope for the differences is immense. Like just in the first chapter, in most chapters you've got 2 sort of side by side stories, one with the modern day, one with future, or different scenes or something. And it just starts off simple, like Vince playing with his daughter. They're playing like a memory game. So you've got to she asks you to remember a specific thing in the scene, and if you get it right or if you get it wrong, or if you pretend to forget, then it branches off into 3 different ways, and then that branches off into different ways, and then that branches off, and eventually it all comes back round to one or 2 options. But again, depending on what you've picked before, then it'll go to different ones. Yeah, and then by the time you get to the end of it, one of the characters, again, I'm not going to spoil too much, but one of the characters, not the main characters, like the side characters, as it were, end up dying in my story. But if I'd played something differently, she could have survived. And then when I restarted the game, another one died because I chose to let something happen which I didn't last time, and then he died. And then this and it's just, it can go from there, and then the ending is just, it goes on and on and on. And yeah, it's tremendous. I fucking love it. So if you haven't played it yet, which obviously you 3 haven't, Game Pass, check it out. Fucking brilliant.
On the to-do list.
It's and again, it's about 6 hours long. Each chapter is about an hour roughly, and yeah, I thought it was excellent from start to finish. And unlike some, sometimes you get like the dialogue choices where you pick something, you're like, well, that doesn't really make sense with what I've chosen before. Here, I thought everything worked out perfectly.
Had an impact.
Even if I chose something that was odd to what I would usually pick, it still fit. I thought it was, I thought it all fit perfectly. And the voice acting, the music, the visuals, everything come together, fusion fingers, to make what I would consider a 10 out of 10 game. Which again upset a lot of people, but I think it's definitely one of the best games I've played this year.
Fair play.
Nice. Go check that out. And the only other one I've been playing, which I started last night very quickly, is a little game called Deathloop. On that dirty PlayStation 5, which I recently picked up. It was fairly cheap by the disc. What give it a go? That obviously from the people who made Dishonored, Graham. I know you're very excited about that. It's fucking brilliant so far.
Is it
really
September
is.
that
Is it
comes
good?
to Xbox?
I think that would be the year exclusive.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a year up.
But I couldn't wait. Like I said, it was cheap enough for me to warrant buying the disc. And,
I think it was said September because that's I say when the year's up, they're going to do it straight away into Game Pass.
and yeah, I played about an hour and a half so far, and it's got its hooks in me already. Quite frankly, I could just leave this podcast right now and go back and play. I've been trying to play it all day, but the kids, it's very much not a family friendly game like you were saying with Far Cry, Ray.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Although there's stealth in here, the idea is to try and kill people really to get past, and it's a bit violent so far. But yeah, it's just fucking brilliant. It's definitely got that Dishonored vibe of like you got an area and you can basically approach the goals over there somewhere, and you can go whatever way around you like. There's loads of different routes and alleyways and hidden areas, and yeah, it looks fucking brilliant. So,
doesn't that in the Games Master as well for a little bit?
What's that? Sorry,
I said, wasn't that in the Games Master thing? One of the tasks was to play that game. They had to get to a certain point without dying.
Maybe I don't remember.
Sure,
I
yeah,
forgot, it was a woman that she had that was one of her tasks to get the golden joystick thing.
It might very well have been, yeah. But there's things like instead of the powers that Corvo's got, and Dishonored's got like slabs. So as you kill the bosses, you get more powers you get to keep hold of. So after a run, if you successfully extract, you get to keep what you found, even if you have to start again when you eventually get killed. But yeah, so far really good, really enjoying it. I'm definitely gonna play some more. The DualSense is fucking tremendous with it as well. I just have to say that. I know it's an Xbox podcast, but the way they've implemented that controller is fucking excellent. So check it out. Hopefully on Xbox soon. But yeah, for now, definitely gonna be playing some more in a minute when we finished, because I cannot wait.
Good.
It's such a good game. Anyway, that's enough of what we've been playing this week. Anything else, gentlemen, before we move on to the rounding of the show?
That's all for me.
I'm all good.
I did forget one game, but I won't bore you all that much.
Sure.
Well, I don't know. What's get angry because I got the trailer ready.
No.
Well, I actually have completely forgot. I don't know how I forgot this because it's fucking brilliant. I did the Hitman 3 DLC, Ambrose Island.
Was it free DLC, isn't it?
Yeah, it's free DLC. They brought it out. Again, just on this it's kind of like a remote island. You kind of get. I think it's done in between games, in between 2 and 3.
Okay.
So they've kind of gone back in the past a bit, but yeah, really good. What I like about it is they've gone kind of sort of way back to the original Hitmans in a way. Whereas in the Hitman recent one, they gave like story missions where you can make the Hitman kill quite easy. So obviously you can just follow a story mission, and all of a sudden the guy on his own, you kill him, it's done. Where this one, there's no story missions whatsoever. You only get hints every now and again from Diana telling you, and oh, that might be happening there, or turn these lights on, that might with that person over there. So it kind of gives you those hints there, and then you've got to kind of work it out yourself.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more fun that way, because obviously you can't just get the silent assassin quite easy that way. I've seen now though people are speedrunning under a minute, but they're just doing ridiculous stuff. But
using the suitcase of power.
That's
Yeah.
it. So yeah, but I did that. So that's good. I completed it. It took me a while. I was going to record it, trying to get to the YouTube, but I kept fucking failing. I was like, I give up recording. I'm just going to go. So I haven't got a silent assassin yet, but I've got the stealth kill. I've got I got caught by a camera, so I haven't got a silent assassin yet. But I will go back and do it now.
Hopefully by next week.
Definitely.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you very much for that, everybody. If you've been playing any games, let us know in the comments down below, as the YouTubers like to say, or on Twitter at Xbox Tavern. However, for now, we're going to move on to the last section of the show. Ross, tell us all about things that are coming to Game Pass. Or have come to Game Pass.
Everything's already in here because we're at the end of the month, but I'll run through the ones that are most recent ones. MotoGP 22, July 21st on console, PC and cloud. Torment Tides of Numenera, July 21st on console and cloud. As we were discussing at the start of the show, What Remains of Edith Finch, the Xbox Series XS version on July 28th for the console, and Inside on July 29th, console, PC and cloud.
Nice. So yeah, some decent games there. But Ian, you need to let us down gently, please. What's leaving Game Pass?
Sad times, unfortunately. Yes, indeed. So coming tomorrow, really, I would say it will be gone. So if you listen to this, it's probably gone already. Depends how quick Ross gets it up.
Easy,
Dodgeball
ladies.
Wow. Dodgeball Academia, Katamari Dakami Reroll, Luminous V Masters, Omino, and Raji the Ancient Epic, all leaving Game Pass tonight.
So yeah, some decent games that we're losing there, but
So
I'm
actually,
sure-
some really good ones. Which is a bit of a shame.
yeah, come tomorrow or the day after. I'm sure we'll get another whacking great list from Game Pass on Twitter saying all of these games they're in Game Pass now. I'm like, what the fuck? But if we don't want to wait till that time and we want to know what we can get with our Xbox Gold subscription, Graham, tell us.
Yeah, so you got your last chances to get the Beasts of Maravilla Island, which is available up until the July 31st. The same with Torchlight, that's available to July the 31st. And then after that, we have Relicta, that's available until August the 15th. And we have Gouge. Oh, no, not that one. Sorry, apologies. Let's try to look at which one's coming in. So Saints Row 2 is coming in from the 1st of August to the 15th. And Calico is coming in from the August the 1st to the 31st.
Nice. So we've got some decent games there. Again, Relicta, I think I said every week I've been here. Definitely go play it. It's fucking brilliant. That Ian, that's almost like a Portal-like as well.
Oh yeah.
Bit of physics-based puzzle
Ooh.
goodness going on. But it's all plays with gravity rather than portals.
Oh.
Yeah, very good, very good.
But they're popping in a Saints Row 2, whetting the appetite for some people.
Oh yes. Did you ever play Saints Row 2? Because I think I played the first one.
I
and it
completed
was
all of them, Jay.
Yeah, I played all of them.
I thought the first one was dreadful, and I haven't really played any since. But
2 was really good.
it's a
2 was
shame, yeah.
2 was one of the best one, I think. Actually, I would say 2 is the best one because it was
So-
kind of
So as you said, whetting the appetite for Saints Row, the reboot that's coming out. Was it 24th of August? Is it somewhere towards the end of the month? So we'll go play that. Cool. Thank you very much. Well, we've had an entire show and not one mention of Human Fall for that, which I'm very disappointed about. I'm sorry, Dan, to have let you down. If it makes you feel better, perhaps we could say that As Dusk Falls is kind of like Human Fall for that, but with narrative instead of physics. If you enjoyed this show, thank you very much for listening. You're a hero for making it to the end of this wonderful episode 88th. You can find us on Twitter at Xbox Tavern. You can find our YouTube stuff here on youtube.com/Xbox Tavern Official, where we record this podcast every Sunday at 8 p.m.
Ish.
Cute. And you can obviously check out the website xboxtavern.com for reviews and features, etc., which we put up hopefully every day, mostly every day. And yeah, just search us up, Ask Jeeves, and you can find us where we are, and we can talk to you hopefully. I've been Jamie. You can follow me at Inaxan if you'd like to give me some shit for not liking Resident Evil 5 as much as everyone else on this podcast. You can follow Ian
at Nutty Ray.
Graham
Reaper.
and Ross.
Scottish Gruff.
Thank you very much for listening. We will see you next week for episode 89th. And have a wonderful week. Be good to each other.
Well, bang,
Yeah.
okay?
It finally came home.
It finally came.
I think he's so
We're
claim
coming
anything.
home. It's
Never wants to